Don't try to stop me.
Oh, my God.
Oh, so he's alive.
I lost all my money in a Ponzi scheme, Charlie. I'm broke.
In Hollywood's list of talented entertainers, the name Danny DeVito is impossible to overlook. This talented legend has been making waves in the movie industry since the late 1960s. Now, at 80, the legendary actor, known for his unique stature and comedic charm, reveals the 5 actors he hated the most. Stay tuned as we explore who these actors are, why he hates them, and the remarkable life and career of Danny DeVito. Number 1. Ashton Kutcher. Christopher Ashton Kutcher, born on February 7, 1978, is an American actor, producer, and entrepreneur. Ashton Kutcher produced and starred in his series, MTV's Punk'd, where hidden camera tricks were performed on celebrities. If you have ever come across the reality television shows Beauty and the Geek, Adventures in Hollywood, based around the rap group 3 6 Mafia, The Real Wedding Crashers, and the game show Opportunity Knocks, this actor was the one who produced them. A 2004 interviewer described him as a hunky young actor who is heading in all different directions at once, including the hot LA restaurant Dolce. The actor is famous for starring in films like Guess Who, 2005. In 2013, Ashton Kutcher portrayed Steve Jobs in the biographical film Jobs. He also led the Netflix sitcom The Ranch from 2016 to 2020. He also starred in the comedy thriller Vengeance, 2022. As this multi-talented legend appears to be spotless on screen, one might wonder why the jovial Danny DeVito would likely harbor hatred towards the TV legend. Well, here's why. In 2014, Ashton Kutcher and Danny DeVito were paired in a series of telecom commercials. Tension arose as Ashton Kutcher took his roles too seriously. He began to question camera angles, asked for lightning changes, and script rewrite. Ashton Kutcher overstepped his boundaries the moment he tried to teach Danny DeVito how to deliver a punchline. The project was later abandoned. Number 2. Chevy Chase. Next on the list is American actor, comedian, and writer Chevy Chase. Cornelius Crane, Chevy Chase was born on October 8, 1943. After he left Saturday Night Live early in its second season, the young star established himself as a leading man, starring in some of the most successful comedy films of the 1980s. His impressive role in the comedy Foul Play, 1978, earned him a Golden Globe nomination. Chevy Chase was committed contractually to SNL for only 1 year as a writer and became a cast member during rehearsals just before the show's premiere. He received 2 Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe Award for his comedy writing and live comic acting on the show. He is known for starring in movies like Caddyshack, 1980, where he portrayed Ty Webb, 5 National Lampoon's Vacation films, where he was famously known as Clark Griswold, Fletch, 1985, and Fletch Lives, 1989. When it comes to getting into fights with actors or celebrities, Chevy Chase is certainly no stranger. He has a reputation for being quite difficult in Hollywood. In 1978, while filming an episode of Saturday Night Live, Chevy Chase got into a fistfight with Bill Murray in John Belushi's dressing room. This happened when he returned to host the show after his exit as a full-time cast member in 1976. Bill Murray reportedly made a derogatory comment about Chase's troubled marriage to Jacqueline Carlin. In response, Chevy Chase criticized Bill Murray's physical appearance, leading to a confrontation that soon escalated into a fistfight. The fight was witnessed by cast members Jane Curtin, Lorraine Newman, and Gilda Radner. Then it shouldn't be a surprise that the name Chevy Chase is featured on Danny DeVito's hate list. In the late 1980s, the two legends both had a clash. Danny DeVito was initially scheduled to host an event with Chevy Chase, but it didn't go as planned. Danny DeVito was ready to co-host the event and had spoken with the producers of the show about his jokes and monologues. However, Chevy Chase, who is famous for ignoring scripts, made jokes that indirectly attacked Danny DeVito. The two comedians were later seen arguing backstage after the broadcast. Ever since then, Danny DeVito has reportedly turned down any comedy that would have him standing next to Chevy Chase. Before you think the actor is probably a problematic one who only picks up issues with his male co-stars, the next name will shock you. Number 3. January Jones. January Kristen Jones, born on January 5, 1978, is an American actress. She is best known for playing Betty Draper in Mad Men, 2007 to 2015. Her role earned her 2 Golden Globe Award nominations for Best Actress in a Drama Series Television and a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. January Jones is also known for her role as Cadence Flaherty, the love interest of both Steve Stifler and Paul Finch in the 2003 comedy film American Wedding. the third installment of the American Pie film series. She played a con artist in the Law & Order episode Quit Claim, who, as the lone surviving suspect connected to a real estate scam involving organized crime, frustrates the efforts of Assistant District Attorney Michael Cutter to convict her. She starred opposite Claire Danes as Jordan Catalano, her love interest, in the short-lived but well-reviewed ABC teen drama titled My So-Called Life. The show was praised for its portrayal of adolescence. Despite being canceled after one season, it gained a large fan base. January Jones and Danny DeVito both worked together on a film, but had a personality clash from the very beginning. January Jones demanded multiple retakes for every scene and affected the film's flow. She also attacked him emotionally and mentally when she reportedly said on a particular day, "Danny DeVito's tone doesn't match mine, and we need to fix that." Although Danny DeVito stayed until the end of the movie, and the movie was released even after his emotions had been messed with, he refused to attend any of its premieres, stating that he didn't want to stand side by side with January Jones on the red carpet. Number 4. Jared Leto. Next on the list is Jared Joseph Leto, born in December 26, 1971. He is an American actor and musician who is known for his method acting in a variety of roles. Jared Leto has received numerous accolades over a career spanning 3 decades, including an Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award. The talented actor is also recognized for his music and eccentric stage persona as frontman of the rock band 30 Seconds to Mars. In 2006, Jared Leto appeared in the neo-noir crime drama Lonely Hearts, the true story of the notorious Lonely Hearts killers of the 1940s, Raymond Fernandez and Martha Beck. Taking up the role as Fernandez, he co-starred with Salma Hayek, who played the role of Beck. The film received mixed reviews from critics. However, Jared Leto's acting was widely praised. Heather Huntington from Reels wrote that his layered performance as the Natalie-dressing dandy with no remorse is truly impressive. Another instance that proved his talent was his role in Chapter 27. In 2007, Jared Leto starred in the biographical film Chapter 27. He portrayed Mark David Chapman, a fanatic fan of the Beatles and the murderer of John Lennon. He prepared for his role by relying on interviews with Chapman and on audio tapes recorded by a librarian the actor met during a visit to the inmate's hometown. Jared Leto went on to gain 67 pounds to approximate the killer's physique. His sudden weight gain gave him gout. He was forced to use a wheelchair due to the stress the sudden increase in weight put on his body. After the shooting of the film, he quickly went on a liquid diet. In 2008, Jared Leto and Danny DeVito were both attached to an old-style tough crime story made with little money. Danny DeVito was to take on the role of a retired mob lawyer, while Jared Leto was to play a young, unstable hitman. Behind the scenes, the movie fell apart because Jared Leto was doing too much. He spoke rudely to the workers on set and took on his role way too seriously. Danny DeVito kept showing up for rehearsals until Jared Leto reportedly demanded last-minute changes to some scenes. Danny DeVito was heard saying, "Somebody remind this kid we are not on Broadway." Everything came crashing down when Jared Leto reportedly insisted that Danny DeVito yell out his lines in a particular scene. Although the movie never made it on screen, the script later made it to a European production company, where it was reworked into a French film. Number 5. Katherine Heigl. Last on the list is American actress and model Katherine Heigl, born on November 24, 1978. Her role as Dr. Izzy Stevens on the ABC television medical drama Grey's Anatomy from 2005 to 2010 earned her recognition and accolades, including the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 2007. Aside from acting, Katherine Heigl has also established herself as a cover model, appearing in numerous publications including Maxim, Vanity Fair, and Cosmopolitan. In 2007, Katherine Heigl had her high-profile film breakthrough with Knocked Up 2007, a comedy from writer-director Judd Apatow, opposite Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, and Apatow's wife, Leslie Mann. Upon its June 2007 theatrical release, the film received generally positive reviews from critics and proved to be a box office success and a summer rom-com hit. According to Ask Men, Katherine Heigl was announced as the most desirable woman in 2008. As a former most desirable woman, you might be wondering why she got into the bad book of Danny DeVito. Here's why. In the mid-2000s, Katherine Heigl and Danny DeVito were briefly connected in a rom-com. The script, which was described as a New York-style hard couple romance, never made it to filming. They both had problems during rehearsals. Katherine Heigl had issues with her scripts and rewrote dialogues. When it got to a point where Danny DeVito was to riff in a scene, she reportedly cut him off during rehearsals, stating that she didn't picture the scene that way. Danny DeVito walked off immediately in annoyance that day and never came back. The movie never made it to our screens. Danny DeVito is a very kind and easygoing person on and off screen, and the rest of this video would prove that to you. Let's dive into the legend's background. Daniel Michael DeVito Jr. was born on November 17, 1944. Today he is an American actor and filmmaker. He was born at Raleigh-Fitkin Paul Morgan Memorial Hospital in Neptune Township, New Jersey. His father was Daniel DeVito Sr., a small business owner, and his mother was Julia DeVito. The legend grew up in a family of 5 with his parents and 2 older sisters. He is of Italo-Albanian descent, as his family is originally from San Felice, Basilicata. Danny DeVito was raised as a Catholic. When he was 14, he persuaded his father to send him to boarding school to keep him out of trouble. In 1962, he graduated from Oratory Preparatory School in Summit, New Jersey. He once worked as a beautician at his sister's salon. While he worked there, his search for a professional makeup instructor led him to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, where he graduated in 1966. In his early theater days, he performed with the Colonnades Theater Lab at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center in Waterford, Connecticut. If you're curious about how Danny DeVito rose to fame, then keep watching as we delve into his career journey. Rise to fame. Danny DeVito started his career when he was featured in the plays Shoot Anything with Hair That Moves and The Man with the Flower in His Mouth, both in 1969. He then played Martini in the 1975 film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, directed by Milos Forman. In 1970, Danny DeVito had his feature film debut in the drama Dreams of Glass. His early film roles include Lady Liberty in 1971, Hurry Up or I'll Be 30 in 1973, and Deadly Hero. After achieving a breakthrough on the sitcom Taxi, Danny DeVito devoted more effort to building a successful film career. He started taking on supporting roles. He starred as Vernon Dalhart in the James L. Brooks directed comedy drama Terms of Endearment, 1983, acting alongside Shirley MacLaine, Deborah Winger, and Jack Nicholson. The film earned critical acclaim as well as the Academy Award for Best Picture. The following year, he acted in the crime comedy Johnny Dangerously, 1984. He took the role as the comic rogue Ralph in the romantic adventure Romancing the Stone that same year, starring Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, and its sequel, The Jewel of the Nile, 1985. In 1984, Danny DeVito made his directorial debut with The Ratings Game. In 1986, he directed and starred in the black comedy The Wedding Ring, a Season 2 episode of Steven Spielberg's anthology series Amazing Stories, where his character acquires an engagement ring for his wife. This was played by DeVito's real-life wife, actress Rhea Perlman. As soon as the ring was worn on his wife's finger, she became possessed by the ring's former owner, a murderous Black Widow. In 1978, Danny DeVito made his feature directing debut with the dark comedy Throw Mama from the Train, in which he starred with Billy Crystal and Anne Ramsey. For his performance, he earned a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. In 1991, Danny DeVito founded Jersey Films. They produced films like Pulp Fiction 1994, Get Shorty 1995, Erin Brockovich 2000, for which he received an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture, Gattaca 1997, and Garden State 2004. In 2006, Danny DeVito joined the cast of the FXX sitcom It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as Frank Reynolds. He starred opposite Glenn Howerton, Rob McElhenney, Caitlin Olsen, and Charlie Day. The character of Frank Reynolds was introduced at the beginning of Season 2. The legend later received a nomination for the Satellite Award for Best Actor Musical or Comedy Series. When Danny DeVito was asked to speak about the show, he said, "I loved it. It was fucking outrageous just the way they are. I immediately said, yeah, this is an amazing show." Danny DeVito also has an interest in documentaries. In 2006, he began a partnership with Morgan Freeman's company, Clickstar, for whom he hosts the documentary channel Jersey Docs. The star was also featured in the documentary Revenge of the Electric Car, where he discussed his interest in and ownership of electric vehicles. Aside from acting and appearing in documentaries, Danny DeVito has also directed 8 short films between 1973 and 2016, 5 of which were released across 2010 and 2011. These 8 movies are The Sound Sleeper, 1973, Minestrone, 1975, Oh Those Lips and Evil Eye, 2010, Poison Tongue, Skin Deep, Nest of Vipers, 2011, and Curmudgeons, 2016. In 2011, Danny DeVito received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his work in television. Danny DeVito also ventured into voice acting. In 2012, he voiced the title character in the animated version of Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. He appeared in the Angry Birds Friends Champions for Earth tournament advertisement in September 2015. Following the Japanese release of the Nintendo 3DS game Detective Pikachu, dedicated Pokémon fans submitted a 40,000 signature petition that requested for Danny DeVito be the English voice actor for the title character. He, however, declined this offer to audition for the role, commenting that he was unfamiliar with the franchise. Danny DeVito also produced the Comedy Central series Reno 911 and the film spin-off Reno 911. Miami and the revival on Quibi. In 2019, his company Jersey Films optioned the screen rights to make a film of Tom's River, a story of science and salvation by Dan Fagan. Seeing how successful the legend has been in his career, his net worth and wealth are a topic of interest. Stay tuned as we dive into that next. Net worth. Danny DeVito has a huge net worth of $80 million. In 1994, he and his wife purchased a 14,579 square foot house in Beverly Hills, California. They later sold it in April 2015 for $20 million. The couple also owns a bungalow near Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills and a multi-residence compound on Broad Beach in Malibu. They also frequently visited a home they owned in Interlaken, New Jersey to escape Los Angeles. In 2022, the couple listed their Mount Washington purchase in Los Angeles for $1.55 million. Let's now talk about Danny DeVito's personal life and the few impacts he has made in Hollywood's entertainment industry. Danny DeVito's personal life and lifestyle. Danny DeVito is 5 feet 0 inches, 1.52 meters tall. Known for his funny height, the actor's stature is actually as a result of a disease called multiple epiphyseal dysplasia, Fairbanks disease, a rare genetic disorder that affects the bone's growth. On January 17, 1971, Danny DeVito met his wife, Rhea Perlman, when she went to see a friend in the single performance of the play The Shrinking Bride, which featured him. 2 weeks later, they both moved in together and got married on January 28, 1982. Together, they have 3 children: Lucy Chet DeVito, who was born on March 11, 1983, Grace Fan DeVito, born on March 1985, and Jacob Daniel DeVito, born on October 1987. Aside from being married, the couple has acted alongside each other several times, including in the television show Taxi and the feature film Matilda, where they played Matilda's parents. Sadly, they separated in October 2012 after 30 years of marriage and over 40 years together. The couple then reconciled in March 2013, and in March 2017, they separated for a second time, but remained on amicable terms, with Rhea Perlman stating they had no intent of filing for divorce. In 2019, Rhea Perlman told interviewer Andy Cohen that she and Danny DeVito have become closer friends after their separation than they were in their final years as a couple. Danny DeVito has once mentioned being a big fan of singer Mike Patton's various musical projects. The legend was introduced to his work through his son Jacob in 2005. Later, Danny DeVito collaborated with Patton on a music video and has attended several of his concerts, with Rhea Perlman contributing an introductory voiceover to an album by Mr. Bungle, one of Patton's bands. In 2016, Danny DeVito also included music from Patton's band Faith No More on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Aside from his interest in music, Danny DeVito is also known for his charity works. In 2023, he donated $500,000 to the Hackensack Meridian Jersey Shore University Medical Center during a visit to his old stomping grounds. The actor is also known for rendering help to his colleagues behind the scenes. When Danny DeVito co-produced and directed the 1996 fantasy comedy Matilda, he hired 8-year-old Mara Wilson to play the titular lead for the Roald Dahl adaptation. During the production of the film, Mara's mother Susie was diagnosed with breast cancer. Luckily for Mara, Danny DeVito and his wife Rhea Perlman, who played Matilda's mean parents in the movie, helped Mara's family. "I was 8 years old. It was very hard, and they were very nice," said Mara Wilson. "While my mom was sick and in the hospital, they would invite me over and take care of me and get my mind off things. I felt very familial." The child star also addressed Danny DeVito's kindness in her 2016 book, Where Am I Now? True Stories of Girlhood and Accidental Fame. "I was floored when he told me he'd brought my mother the film while she was in the hospital. It hadn't been fully edited, but she had been able to see what we had. I feel such a sense of peace knowing that, and I'll always be grateful," wrote Mara Wilson. Way back in 2006, Danny DeVito brought a movie star resume with him when he joined the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for the show's sophomore season. Despite his qualifications, Danny DeVito only wanted to be one part of the dysfunctional gang at Patty's, as explained by producer, actor, and writer Glenn Howerton. Howerton talked about Danny DeVito during an interview with Rich Eisen. "He's just great," said Howerton. "He's not entirely unlike the sort of personality you expect him to be. When he came on in the second season, he made it very clear to us from the very beginning, I don't want to come in and I don't want to change the show. I don't want to become the lead of the show. I don't want to take over. I just want to be a part of this cast." Kathleen Turner also spoke about Danny DeVito's character. The two stars have both worked on 4 films together: Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile, War of the Roses, and The Virgin Suicides. Danny DeVito directed War of the Roses, a black comedy about a married couple who engage in an epic divorce battle. "I always loved his willingness to throw himself into things," said Kathleen Turner. "It made him fun to work with. He knew what he wanted, and it was great fun to ride along." She also appreciated Danny DeVito's compassion. "When I got sick with rheumatoid arthritis, he was one of the first to call and tell me, 'Whatever you need,'" she added further. Another soul. Danny DeVito's simplicity touched was Frank Biondo, who began serving as a camera operator on Sesame Street during the first show in 1969. The Emmy Award winner sat down for an interview with the Television Academy Foundation to discuss the extensive array of celebrity guest stars who have appeared on the children's program. "One of the best guests, I think, was Danny DeVito and his wife," Frank Biondo said. He explained that Rhea Perlman was on the show one day, and DeVito dropped by to see his wife on set. "When she finished, we all applaud and applaud and applaud. Then Danny gets up and starts dancing with his wife. Then he turns around and makes a speech." Frank Biondo further goes on to recite the kind words DeVito shared. "We want to thank you people. You gave us quality time with our children. We sit down and watch your show with our children. It gives us the most pleasure to watch your show with our children, so we want to thank you." Next is Michael Douglas. The two actors became good friends in the 1960s when both were still emerging actors living in New York City. Michael Douglas later went on to be the Academy Award-winning producer of one of DeVito's early films, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They both have worked on multiple film projects together, including War of the Roses, Romancing the Stone, and Jewel of the Nile. Danny DeVito recently guest-starred as Douglas's character, Sandy Kaminsky's urologist Dr. Wexler, on The Kaminsky Method. Dr. Wexler gives Sandy a prostate exam in one episode. "He loves taking chances," Michael Douglas said. "He's got a great energy level and imagination. He really has the ability to fly without a net." "When I started producing Romancing the Stone, it was a romantic adventure," added Douglas. "Danny is fully responsible for making it a romantic comedy adventure, which made it a success. That character that he brought was all him, and I was so grateful at how much he added. Danny does nastiness like nobody else. He relishes his nastiness. He enjoys busting balls in character." Lastly, Danny DeVito's co-star Marilu Henner shared a scene with Danny DeVito in a Season 2 episode. The actress needed to resort to a painful tactic in order not to break character. "My negotiation scene with Louis in Shut It Down Part 1 was my favorite," said Marilu Henner in 2018. "I couldn't get through it all week without laughing because Danny was the devil. When I'd finally get used to what he was doing, he'd add something else. Eventually, he was leaning forward on the word stallion, flaring his nostrils and stomping his foot. I wore painful boots in that scene to give myself a stomachache so that I wouldn't laugh." Over the years, Danny DeVito has proven to be indeed an actor, comedian, and producer worthy of the accolades given to him. His simplicity and large heart have made it difficult for fans to dislike him or find fault with him. Now, at 80, the legend, popularly referred to as the Penguin, is still standing strong. What can you say about Danny DeVito? Is his hatred towards these 5 actors justifiable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more interesting content. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.